Hi, it's Faith. I am so glad you're here. Today I want to talk about what I've been struggling through and what I've learned. If you've been going through a lot of struggles and you feel lost, tired, then this video is for you. The last few years have been just tremendously difficult. You know, life is difficult to begin with. We know that. Our childhoods have been difficult. We know that. And as time goes by, it's kind of like we think, well, when are things going to get easy, right? So for the past few years, what I've been struggling through has been loss, grief, trauma triggers. Yeah. I have had numerous life events happen to me in a very short amount of time. Major life events in a short amount of time. One of those events was making the choice to leave my marriage. We were married for 24 years, raised 2 kids. I left the marriage so that we both can be happy and find. So for the first time in my life, I was living on my own, supporting myself, being independent, and that took a lot. Because where I come from, I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I was capable of being independent or doing anything on my own. After that, I found out my sister had cancer. I was living out of country, and I knew I had to move back. So I moved back. I moved in with her. I took care of her, and I believed that she was going to get better. She was on chemo. They gave her Sutab, a medication to clear out her colon for the colonoscopy. She died 3 weeks later after that prep. It wiped out all of her electrolytes and caused liver failure. For a long time, I struggled with grief, blame, survivor's guilt, thinking like, what if I didn't come? Would she still be alive? But I know it was that doctor who should have spoke up and said, no, you don't need this. This medicine isn't for people with liver and kidney cancer. It's Sutab. It took me about 2 years to get out of the darkness that grief brought to me. And within those 2 years, wow. After my sister passed away, I didn't have a place to live anymore. I ended up getting my own apartment, and I decided to go ahead and go through grief and trauma therapy to deal with everything that has been holding me back. The next thing that happened was I lost my job of 3 years. I was a contractor in the mental health field. 3+ years I worked for this app. They were failing. And they just suddenly cut people without any care, warning. that made my life crash. Warning would have been nice. So I lost my job. I had no unemployment benefits because I was a contractor. I had no savings because I was currently rebuilding from loss and life change. I couldn't afford my apartment anymore, so I lost my apartment. Living out of my car. I sold everything in my apartment and kept only what could fit in my vehicle. I almost gave up. I almost sunk into a very dark, deep depression that I was afraid that I wouldn't get out of. I wasn't going back to my narcissistic, abusive mother. The only other family member I had was my dad in another state, and he lived out in the middle of nowhere. And that sounds great, but it's not great when you need a job. Your vehicle is about $1,000 a month. And you just lost everything and you're about to go into a deep depression. And that isolation wouldn't have been good. Someone told me not to give up. So I applied for one last job. And I got it. I don't know how that happened because everything seemed very bleak at the time. The only thing I can contribute it to is God. Honestly, it's one of those things. It's one of those miraculous things where a miracle happened and saved me out of complete darkness that I was definitely in and headed deeper into. So I had hope. I was so happy. I was pet sitting, door dashing. I just got a new job. It was on site. I had been working from home the past 6 or 7 years. So it's my first time back on site at a job. I couldn't afford a vehicle and an apartment now because I made less at this job. So I had to rethink my finances and make a strategy for myself. Number one, I set my mind on a promotion. Number two, I knew I had to get rid of that vehicle and get a cheaper one. I needed a bedroom rental. So I finally found one. It's perfect. It was a Christian couple. One was a realtor. Man was in the military. It was a brand new home that was just built in a brand new subdivision. $600 a month. It was just what I needed. So I had a new job and I had a new bedroom rental. And I thought, wow, this is my place to heal. Get back on my feet. A few months later, she started getting so jealous and so envious. She thought her husband liked me. So she made me leave. She said she was divorcing even. And they had issues beyond me. I had to live out of my car again. I've learned never live with a married couple if you can help it. And if you have to, make it very short. Because their marital issues, their insecurities, especially if you're a woman living there and the woman is so insecure, if the wife is so insecure and maybe her husband is not very trustworthy, then she is not going to like other women living in the house. And they were living there as well, part-time. So I was living out of my car. Again, no friends or family here. I hadn't had time to meet anyone. My sister passed. I was struggling. Yeah. I found a new bedroom rental. I was able to pull the trigger on my strategy of getting rid of my high car note and getting a cheaper vehicle. I made progress. I have learned that I don't need a brand new vehicle. I don't need societal, cultural burdens on me that keep me stuck. Those are the things that I've been struggling through, and these are the things that I've learned from it. Those are the things that I've been struggling through, and those are the things that I have learned, and some of the strategies that I put into place and pulled the trigger on to help myself get out of the binds that I was getting into, and to live the life that I want, need, and feel. It's a life of freedom. Free from financial burdens, free from relationship burdens, free from manipulative people, free from abusive people, free from jobs that drain me. Those are things I've learned that I want, I need, and I'm going to strive for. If this resonated with you in any way, leave a comment. Let me know. We're in it together. You're in my tribe. Thank you for being here. Keep your head up. It gets better. You can do this. This is Faith. Thanks for listening. Take good care. Bye for now.